If you think Hyatt Globalist is their top tier status, you are wrong. Let me clarify. Hyatt, of course, publicly has 3 tiers of elite status. There's Discoverist, Explorist, and then Globalist at the top. And so many people think that when you reach Globalist, you are the top tier of Hyatt's elite chain. This is wrong for 2 reasons. There's actually 2 tiers higher. So the first tier that actually is higher, and it may sound like it's not, but it's actually the same, or it is actually higher, is Lifetime Globalist. Lifetime Globalist is essentially a globalist that has never going to have it expire. You have to spend $200,000 USD with Hyatt on your account pre-tax and pre-fees to earn the status. This does actually rank you differently than a normal globalist. On their upgrade tier list, on the hotel when they're checking you in beforehand, when they're blocking the rooms before your stay, they can see who's a lifetime globalist and who isn't. And anecdotally, they absolutely positively prioritize lifetime globalist over globalist. It only makes sense. Someone that has spent $200,000 in their lifetime with the chain over someone that's spending 20 nights earning a status challenge, they're going to prioritize the person spending a lot of money with the chain. That's a given. The other tier, of course, is Courtesy Card. For those of you not familiar, Courtesy Card is arguably the best hotel status in the world. The only one that would compete is Shangri-La Polaris, but that's a topic for a different time. Courtesy Card is not like Globalist. There is no publicly earning criteria. There is really a few ways to get it. The easiest, quote unquote, is to own a Hyatt hotel. By easiest, I mean it is the most direct. If you own a Hyatt hotel, you're probably getting Courtesy Card, especially if you are the sole owner. Like, you basically are just getting it. If you have a large say in some type of corporate travel contract, or you're some really important person to Hyatt, maybe I'm like the head of Apple corporate travel or something like this, right? Hyatt may choose to give it to you because you are someone that can give them a lot of business and they want you to direct people to their business. And then, of course, you can just spend a ridiculous amount of money at Hyatt's. Usually the speculation, at least according to 1 Mile at a Time, is about $50,000 a year to even be considered for the status. In practice, I would imagine it's usually much more. 50,000 is like a minimum. I would probably imagine you need to be spending like 100,000 a year at Hyatt's to be considered. And obviously, of course, it depends on the type of properties. Are you staying at luxury properties? Stuff like that. And you have to be nominated by a general manager, and then Hyatt Corporate actually has to approve your nomination to this tier. I have actually met someone who has Courtesy Card status, and I've read a lot of data points about how it works, and I've asked some hotels about how it works, so I can give some unique insight here as to if the status is as good as they say. And so before I go into that, what is the status? It is essentially the same thing as Globalist, okay, on paper, except for the fact that the standard suite upgrade restriction that applies to Globalist does not apply to Courtesy Card. The, in theory, benefit is the highest available suite. Now, in practice, it doesn't always mean the actual highest available suite. So, essentially, right, the highest available suite on paper would be like literally presidential suite, top villa, whatever. A lot of hotels will actually do this. If you're staying at like a normal Hyatt Regency, a normal Grand Hyatt, a normal Park Hyatt even, they'll probably just give you the top suite if it's available as Courtesy Card. Okay, and the person I spoke to that has Courtesy Card, this is their case. They've been upgraded, every time it's essentially open, presidential suite, top suite, they get it. Obviously, if it's available. So that's really good, but there are some properties that don't always go to that level. So there was a property I talked to in Europe that has Courtesy Card guests show up, and it's a very nice hotel, and they don't have upgrades to the very top suites for the Courtesy Card members. And the reason for this is because their top suite is so ostentatious, it is so large, it is so ridiculous, that it would just be impractical for the hotel to give. And I understand this. Like, we're talking things like 5-bedroom villas, okay? That's fair, okay? I look, it would be nice to get that as a Courtesy Card, I can imagine, but, like, it's fair to maybe just give, like, an ambassador suite or something, right? Depends on the hotel. But most hotels will go through very big lengths to honor Courtesy Card members. So, like, one data point I remember is I was talking to a hotel, and they get about, I think it's about like 10 something, 20 maybe globalists checking in per day at the hotel. They get like 2 courtesy card members a week comparatively. So you can imagine that at that scale of numbers, you can honor the courtesy card guests much better than the globalist guests. And this just makes sense, okay? So I think this is something important to remember because we all like to chase top-tier hotel status. But because it's gotten so easy, relatively speaking, to earn, it makes sense why upgrades are harder to come by and why these benefits are harder to be recognized. Because if you're one of 20 globalists checking in per night at a hotel, it's not that special. It just isn't. So understanding that there's going to be levels above you, usually in the form of people that have courtesy card or lifetime globalist in this case, they're going to get better treatment. They're going to get higher priorities. There's not really much actionable information you can take on this, but just have a better expectation because there is no way that, as a globalist at a 20 globalist per night checking in hotel, you're going to get an amazing top suite. And it's why they have these restrictions on what suites they can give, because they would just have no suite. Like, they would never sell any suites because when they would be open, the globalists would always just get upgraded in for free. So, courtesy card, really amazing status, arguably the best hotel status in the world in the sense of like the suite upgrades you get. I would love to have courtesy card one day. I would love to be able to try it. From the person I spoke with, it is amazing, their upgrades. They get upgraded to 2-story suites. Basically, whatever they got in the biggest suite in the house, pretty much every time. It's really just, is it available? And a lot of these nice hotels, when you're talking about top suites, usually they are available because they sell for such astronomical rates, people don't really book them. And so having Hyatt courtesy card, I think, would be something, if anyone has it, I would love to hear in the comments down below. But it is really that level of unique hotel status, and the more kind of down-to-earth version of that is Lifetime Globalist. Although Lifetime Globalist, the fact that it requires $200,000 in lifetime spend to earn, and I'm calling it the more down-to-earth top-tier hotel status, should tell you how big of the differential there is in these levels of someone doing a 20-night mattress run on a corporate challenge to get Globalist compared to someone who is organically earning courtesy card in terms of the differentials of treatment. Globalist is an amazing hotel status. It is the best public top-tier hotel status, in my opinion, maybe only competing with Bonvoy Ambassador in some regards, but it is by no means Hyatt's true top-tier hotel status. So what did you think about this? Let me know in your thoughts in the comments down below. I will see you in the next video.